Hi, fam.
Hey Morgan, it is Wednesday, not Tuesday, but what I'm going to do is try and explain why I was not able to make a video yesterday in the course of making the video today. So basically, yesterday I just had no time, but that's fine because now I get to share my stories as to why I had no time. So yesterday, I mean, it was a school day, so I had school, whatever, not really important to the story. Um, then afterwards, I I decided to take a very serious issue and go out with my friend Alex and in search of a bedazzler because, quite frankly, we need to have a bedazzler for an upcoming, I suppose you can call project, which you, it should be nice. So we decided to just go out in search of a bedazzler, and we were unable to find one, which was rather upsetting. We went to places that should have them, like we went to places like Michael's and Joanne Fabrics, and we even asked around. And we asked one of them, and they were like, "Oh, well, it seems like people have no need for a bedazzler anymore." So we came to the conclusion that the world is becoming a much sadder place since people no longer have needs for bedazzlers. Um, so I mean, moment of silence for that. We then met up with our friend Graham, who was picking up his tux for Friday, and we went to Men's Warehouse with him. And originally I thought that we were a wedding party, which was kind of weird because none of us really look old enough to be getting married at all. Um, but after being like, no, it's for prom, they then seemed rather confused about our dynamic as to why there were three guys going into a store to order one tux, and just kept on giving him advice about like colors and stuff. So it's a rather interesting situation. Um, then we went out to eat because it's kind of like what we do with our time. And then we had to get to an award ceremony for the arts programs at our school. Which beforehand, for those of you who don't know, my school has a rather strict dress code policy, in which my hair is in firm violation of. And so, for the first time, the president of our school saw me yesterday, and he noticed, and he asked me if I'd be doing anything about my hair for graduation, or rather, what my hair, if anything would be happening to my hair for graduation. To which I informed him that yes, it would be under a cap, and he just kind of laughed it off and walked away, which made me rather happy that he didn't try to actually enforce anything on me. Um, but anyways, getting to the point. Um, Basically, we had the award ceremony, and there were a couple of awards given out, and I mean, I got a couple of things, a few things, and I'm not really gonna go into great detail about most of it, but to explain this, I need to introduce the next character in our in my little play, and his name is John Philip Sousa, which we have right here. However, I realized that when I was drawing this, this right here looks nothing like a hat, which is what he's supposed to be wearing. So I went and I gave you a side angle too. So this is John Philip Sousa from the side, and notice how far out his mustache gets, because honestly, his mustache is like the most like defined thing on his person on every single picture I've ever seen of him. So John Philip Sousa is a composer. He was born in 1854 and died in the 1930s, and he was basically really well known because he was a military man who was also a composer. Um, so he wrote music, as we can see here. However, I play a bass instrument, which means that to me, his music is, while it's still really good, it's really, really boring because he wrote a lot of marches, which means that all I do when I play his music is go bum, 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 bum on all the downbeats, which gets really old really quickly. Um, he wrote a lot of music for military bands, like I said, and a lot of marches, and I've played actually like I've played about half of his marches, which is funny because as I've said, um, it's really boring for my instrument. So anyways, so this is what this is all leading up to is the fact that at the award ceremony, I received the award for the John Philip Sousa Award, which means that this man who I have great respect for, but seemed constantly like locked in combat with over his music and just making me like labor through it, I now have a bust of him, a small pin of him, which you cannot see at all, but I assure you it is his face on a pin, and even a little diploma of him. And honestly, I just think it's the funniest thing ever. Also, I received another award, which I don't feel like getting into, but I was rather excited about. And as a result, I was kind of on cloud nine for the entire evening. And I went home, and you'll be proud of me, Morgan. I bought a Monster import, although I must admit mainly just because those cans are awesome more than the fact that I really like Monster. And made a call, and like monsters always do, it ended up just like making me fall asleep because caffeine has that effect on me for some strange reason, which is weird because I usually don't sleep. But caffeine, whatever, I'm backwards. It doesn't make a difference. So essentially, that was my Tuesday, and that's what I was doing instead of making this video. But I think in the end, it's good because the quality of this is probably much better because of it. Because I probably would have had nothing to talk about otherwise. Um, it is brilliant out right now, and I am really kind of enjoying myself. So my question for you is, what is your favorite outdoor activity? Because clearly it's not any type of sport since running is not your thing. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I look forward to your video hopefully on Friday so we can get back on track because this is just getting a little bit out of hand. I mean, I'm guilty too, not blaming you. And yeah, so hopefully see that video on Friday. Bye.